Hello, and welcome back to Rage 1. Uh, so, when I was initially streaming Rage 1, there were several episodes where I had accidentally not checked my mic settings and my mic was not actually being captured. Um, so, the game audio is intact, but my dialogue is not. So what I've done is I've taken that video and I'm restreaming it, and I'm going to be providing new dialogue and recording that, putting that on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that intro might be a little confusing, but this is going to be I guess, the canonical commentary for the series. Um, so this is being recorded like in the middle of my Rage 2 playthrough for just context there for people on YouTube. But anyway, we're going to get started here. Um, we'll see how this goes. We're starting up the video now. All right, let's see. Okay. So, this is a little bit after completing the Scorchers DLC, I believe, and just kind of continuing on with the main story at this point, if I remember correctly. So I believe this is the Gearhead Vault, where there's going to be a lot of gadgets and exploding RC cars and that kind of thing. Those spider bots are very, very useful. I never really appreciated them back in my old playthroughs of Rage. Oh yeah, and just to be clear, that video capture in the corner is from my original stream, so don't freak out if my voice isn't matching up to my lips or anything like that. These big armored Gatling gun guys, I always had a problem with. Like, they just take so much damage to take down, and they do so much damage back. Although, if I remember correctly, it always kind of seemed like if you get a headshot, and maybe it's in the exact right place, or maybe it's just random chance, it seems like their helmet can come off, and that makes them a lot weaker. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. And always got to make sure to get the collector cards, even though I wasn't actually playing the card game in this. But I don't know, I love collecting things. So. Playing a lot of, I guess, like Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, more or less. So just, collecting things is really in my DNA as a gamer. It's probably part of the reason why I like games like Borderlands so much, where you can just collect and collect and collect. I suppose that's kind of a different style of collecting than what like Mario and Banjo-Kazooie offer. I think what I was looking at there was the logo on the side of the turret. Kind of looked like a gas station logo. I'm pretty sure, like Chevron or Mobil or something like that. I'm pretty sure it kind of looks like one of those. I wonder what the significance is of that door being outlined in red. Probably not much. I seem to remember these just kind of loop around to the same place. I had to do a little bit of a weird setup here because, so playing the video through OBS directly, I cannot hear the audio. I see the audio track moving, so I'm pretty sure it's outputting with the audio, but it's not relaying it to me. So I've separately pulled up the video and tried to get it more or less synced up so I can watch it with the audio. And also, more or less full screen, whereas in OBS I'd have to look at the preview capture and the actual what video is being output captured thing. So I've got myself and Rage in triplicate at the moment. Rage 3 confirmed. So I think here I'm getting a little confused, maybe? No, okay, I was going down to the right place. I thought this was one of those spots where I just get confused about which direction I'm supposed to be going and end up retreading ground. Because I guess, sometimes things in this game do look kind of samey. I'm not sure what that sound was. It sounded like what do I want to say? It sounded like a cash register dinging or something. I don't know. It sounded kind of out of place. I seem to vaguely remember talking about that in my original streaming of this, which I don't know. Maybe if someone out there is good at lip reading, you can see what I'm saying out there. But that is not a skill that I possess. I see I'm trying to do some parkour there, but the car will not let me pass. I think that was a car. Okay, yeah, I remember this room. There's just like a ton of dudes down there, and I think I die a couple times in here. I think, if I remember correctly, in this room, I was in like the middle of my MCU rewatch, and so I was talking about that in this room. I don't really remember where I was in it, but I've completed it at this point. I'm all caught up. Well, I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet. That's still in theaters. I've heard some kind of mixed things on it, but over time I've become less and less interested in what like critics and a lot of just other people on the internet have to say, and I'll just wait and watch it and judge for myself, honestly. I think far too often I just sit still and let like grenades hit me. In a lot of shooters that have grenades, probably. I just undervalue how big their range is and how much damage they do and that kind of thing. And there's one, I guess you could call it a death, even though the defib brings me back. I technically died. It looks like I do have the upgrade to have 2 defib charges. So that's good, but yeah, only one of them was actually charged up. I don't remember at the moment if I die more. I guess, you know, I'll see that pretty soon. But let's see. How do I smarten up in this situation? How do I really take this down? I mean, honestly, like, I should have the rocket launcher at this point, so I probably could pull that out. Oh, right. Yeah, the old, if you don't manually save much in Rage, you lose a lot of progress if you die. I remember mentioning that multiple times throughout the playthrough, and so I'm hoping it's in one of the episodes that actually got recorded properly, so I don't have to, you know, retread that. But yeah, I think, yeah, this episode I distinctly remember being like, okay, a lot of it is retreading ground because I died. But at least it wasn't like Dead City where the game actually glitched and I couldn't proceed. Or either I couldn't proceed at all, or it like took a long time to let me proceed. Because there was like a door that was supposed to fall down or something, and it never did. Watching this, like with the juxtaposition of just recently playing Rage 2, it gives me an appreciation for what exactly kind of tool the sniper rifle is. Because, you know, it's very much like a for a majority of enemies, except for, you know, like guys like this or the Authority, it's just like if you can point at them, they will die. From like a strong distance, like even in like a pretty like closed corridor here, it's doing. Did I say corridor? Corridor. It's doing a lot for me in terms of, you know, just getting rid of smaller enemies so I can focus on the big guy. Which of course is not that much of an option in Rage 2. I mean, you can use the flare gun to kind of a similar effect, but, you know, it's not as guaranteed. It's not like, you know, like that critical like headshot kind of damage. Here I'm using the pop rockets. I love the pop rockets. I think in Rage 2, the equivalent is when you're using overdrive and you've got the shotgun, you kind of shoot. It's like I to me it feels more like kinetic blasts, but it kind of has a similar feel where it like I think it kind of arcs a little bit like a grenade, and it does have a bit of a burst effect. And I think enemies will just explode if you kill them with it. So at least presentationally, has a similar vibe to the pop rockets. So I'm being very cautious. I think I'm rambling about something, so I don't want to concentrate on the game while trying to make my point. Um, it probably wasn't really that good of a point anyway. I probably say a lot of rather pointless things and just keep trying to talk about them, keep trying to make them come around to a point, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe there's some good things to say in there, but I feel like I just kind of get lost in my thoughts and ramble fairly often. It's always really satisfying to get those headshots where you can't really see that much of the head, and you just barely like skim the top of the forehead or whatever, and it still works. Yeah, I was about to say, I thought there was another guy there, but I just missed count. Yeah, the old Rage 1, the body slides around a little bit. I forgot that because I died, I didn't have that collector's card anymore, so I had to go pick it up again. I'm looking around for any more items to pick up in here, but I don't think there really are any. I feel like in my mind, this game has a lot more just like stuff everywhere and scavenging to do, but it really doesn't have that much. For the most part, it's like in very specific rooms or on shelves or whatever. That's like a really big engine over there. I wonder what it's powering. And it was really going away, just like shaking around, steam coming out of it. Whatever the gearhead's got that hooked up to must be like some like relatively powerful tech. I didn't want to say really powerful because stuff has been like kind of reset and they don't have like authority level technology, but like as a bandit clan, what they've been able to scrounge together is pretty impressive, honestly. Wait, are these the gearhead or are these I think these are the shrouded. Oh, I can't even keep it because I feel like the shrouded and the gearheads are weirdly similar. I mean, especially when you get to the point of Rage 2, and I think the gearheads don't even come up, but you have the Immortal Shrouded, who have some, like, they like, co-opted some, like, arc tech, and they can, like, turn invisible and have power suits and stuff. Alright, come on past Jarrett, you can do it. Just snipe that man, yeah. He was just standing there, not doing anything. Guess his AI broke or something. Here I am monologuing a little bit again and getting stuck on a door frame. Don't you hate it when that happens? Just like in real life, door frames are, they're bigger or smaller. The edges of the frame go further into the space of the door than they might look. So you're almost inevitably just gonna get caught going through a door every time, right? No, we're not all built like Lydia from Skyrim, I guess. I don't know if I ever saw that really happen, but it's something I heard about where like Lydia gets stuck in doorways a lot in that game. And I think the reasoning I heard for it is because I don't know if this is true, but supposedly they have like I don't know, like a checkbox or something in the code or like the entities for like NPCs that marks whether they're male or female. I'm not really sure why that would have been important, but it apparently like Lydia's is set to male, and because she has a female character model, it confuses the AI as far as her hitbox goes, or something along the lines. That's what I heard anyway. I don't know if that's true, and talking through it just now, I don't think it really makes that much sense. But I guess it is kind of plausible. That's something that I've been kind of taking note of playing Actually, sorry, I was getting a little confused there. I was about to say playing Rage 2 that there's, you know, actually female enemies now, whereas in the first game it's all male enemies. Um, but now that I'm thinking about it, on the top of my head, yes, there are female enemies in Rage 2. But what really brought something like that to my attention was that throughout Borderlands 1 and 2, pretty much all your enemies except maybe very specific characters are male. But in Rage 2 they do more to like, you know, randomly have like female psychos or female bandits. And you know, just just like that, I think that makes a lot more sense than there'd be, you know, a a variety of different kinds of people in a like a bandit clan or whatever, more or less. So we've made it back to this room this time. Hopefully we won't die again. What am I? Oh, okay. Am I pulling out the rocket launcher? No. No, come on, come on. Don't be a coward. Pull out the rocket launcher. Yes. Yeah, okay. So now I'm just going to rocket launch those people down there and probably do a ton of damage. Yeah, this is what rocket launchers were invented for. Well, the way they work in video games, at least. Man, that guy, even with rockets, I feel like he takes more damage than I always expect. Okay, I might actually be able to advance forward in this room this time. I mean, I guess the tension is kind of lacking since we know, I finished this game and moved on to Rage 2, so we know that I don't get stuck here, but... okay, so past Jarrett, are you going to do the smart thing and save the game so you don't have to repeat that part? Or are you just going to, leave it up to, not exactly chance, but, I mean, there's still, I guess, leave it up to the risk that you have to redo this part? Come on, past Jarrett, you can do it. You can do the smart thing. Maybe. Maybe once you finish with this room, like you finish collecting all the items, then you're gonna save at the end of the room, so you don't have to like go through just picking up everything again. Yeah, it looks like I'm having some kind of pensive thoughts there. Apparently not about saving the game though. I'm disappointed in myself. At least I completed the objective there, so I think at least an auto save should be coming up soon. And I just am getting shot while I'm scratching my ear or something. Oh, pulse shot. Did I need to change the pulse shot? No, it doesn't look like it. Ooh, is that armor like grafted to his skin? I never noticed that before, but it looked kind of like red and gory. That was interesting. Alright. Oop. I forgot you can just randomly like close doors in this game. I don't know what the point of that is, but it's something you can do. I mean, I guess if there are enemies after you and you just really wanted to take a moment to not get shot at, but I feel like closable, like, that's... off the top of my head, I don't know of other places in the game where you can close a door, and, like, so that one's just not actually useful. Doesn't this place get, like, super blown up and the elevator is, like, unusable later? I guess for the side quest to come back here. Oh, I don't think. Yeah, past Jarrett did not save, and I'm just letting this guy shoot me. I love that you can loot enemies like as soon as they're dead. Like you don't have to wait for them to fall to the ground or anything. So like in most circumstances, you kill an enemy, they just fall to the ground immediately. So there's like a split second where if your cursor's lined up and you mash the interact button. You can just like grab their loot as they're falling to the ground, and it's just such a fun little thing you can do. And now I'm just reminiscing about the crossbow. and how like it has some cool mechanics to it. And I wish there was some iteration of the crossbow in Rage 2. Maybe in the DLC. I don't know. I don't know that much about the DLC. But I guess to be fair, like some of the mechanics of the crossbow are kind of counterintuitive to the overall design of Rage 2, where like like the mind control bolt, you know, even if they like sped up the walking speed of the controlled enemy, like it still it kind of breaks the pace to go like, okay, I'm going to control this enemy now and walk them over to their friends and make them explode. Like maybe if that was more of an automatic process, where like you hit them with the bolt, then they just immediately like stop aggroing you, run up to their friends, and blow up. That could be really fun. It actually worked really well in Rage 2's system, I think. I think the shock bolts as they're set up in Rage 1 wouldn't really make much sense, because it's about like waiting for enemies to be standing in water, and like making sure like you get the biggest zap around things, which that doesn't really work that well. But I guess maybe if it was a bit more of like a stun type thing, where like it's not reliant on there being water, maybe if it just does like a static burst around it and stuns some enemies, so you can have like a moment to reposition or something. I feel like that's getting a little kind of iffy, because I feel like a lot of Rage 2 isn't about like being able to give yourself a moment to breathe. It's about how do I engage in this combat without a moment to breathe. So if you were going to bring the crossbow back, you might have to just nix the electric arrows. But I think if you do the mind control bolts and just make it more automatic, that could work. Standard bolts, I don't know. I think that's bordering dangerously close on the sniper rifle territory. So you might even want to just take that mind control property and put it on another kind of gun, but I'm not sure what that would be.
Remember, if you need your vehicles repaired, just pull them into the bay, and I'll.
For some reason, I was hoping he would have like some kind of unique dialogue there, or a shop or something, but no, he's just reminding you of a basic game mechanic. Although, I feel like you're at the Hagar settlement for such short a time in this game.
Very good indeed. With these new plans, you'll be able to make some powerful bomb cars.
I feel like that early in the game, you're probably not actually gonna.
I hope the improved bomb cars work for you. Aside from the much bigger explosion, those things will kick out a little EMP blast as well. Those are good for knocking out anything with an electrical subsystem, especially like
you won't
those
need to get your car repaired much, so you don't actually use DR services very often. Unless you're just really bad at car combat and get like blown up doing the first couple quests. But although I do really like the design of the Hagar settlement, where it's got like you just drive into the little town and then get out and conduct your business and get back to your car and drive away. I feel like, I'm trying to think, Rage 2 doesn't really have much of that, because like Gun Barrel, you like park outside and go over the gate, kind of like Wellspring in this, and Wellspring in that, you do the same thing, you park outside and go in. There's not really any like small settlements in that game, which I guess with the way stuff has kind of progressed, that kind of makes sense. But also I think it'd be nice if there were some cities where you just like you can drive up into the middle of town, jump out of your car, shop, talk to the characters, get quests or whatever, jump back in your car and drive away. Yeah. I think I remember as a kid all the time driving up way too fast to that door and just crashing into it as I hit the button. And now whenever I play it.
Listen, friend. Heard that the authorities looking for you. You best think about leaving town soon. I hate to see you go, but I'd hate it worse if they picked you up.
So I always try to just like slow down a little bit and make sure I don't ram into it. That usually ends up making me stop before I get to the door. So this looks like it's actually like very close to the end of the, I don't know, the Wellspring chapter of Rage 1, because I mean, I think there's a couple more missions, but once the Authority shows up, you're gonna get out of town pretty quick. Oh wow, the sheriff's office is closed. Oh, I was confused. I mistook Captain Marshall for the sheriff's name. Oh boy, the Stanley Express, which honestly, I feel like the Stanley Express quests aren't that difficult unless they're like timed and have like a really strict timer. But it's literally just getting packages and taking them to where they need to be delivered. And it's just, I think it's an uninteresting quest line. I don't know. I guess if I go and play Rage 1 again, I might try to 100% and actually do that and do all the quests. But I don't know how appealing that is to me, really. So I'm thinking this actually is where we leave Wellspring, because I mean, I feel like you're introduced to the Resistance. You do like one thing for them, and then they're like, well, let's take you up to.
Excellent work. You're a major asset to the Resistance. I'll get this drive to Lassard as soon as we get back to our base. Hopefully he'll be able to uncover what's on it. But as of now, time is against us.
And it's becoming more dangerous for you here. But go on, tell him.
We've still got some unfinished business. Before I was captured, I was en route to the old Authority research facility in Dead City. I was looking for some type of proof of what the Authority was doing with the mutants.
Yes, we've got reports that the Authority has reprogrammed nanotrites and are using them to control mutants, changing them into something far worse than they are now. My guess is they figured out a way to use them as weapons. But we don't know how far they got before they were overrun and had to abandon the city.
We need that data. There may be a way to reverse the process, but only if we understand the mutant experiments better.
And if for nothing else, we can use the information to expose the real nature of the Authority.
So, my friend, before we leave, you've got to help us find
I'll
that
do
data.
it.
We suspect you can find a copy of the data on the old servers. But to reach them, you'll have to get to the top floors of the research building and locate the network room. The main server will be there, somewhere. Find that data, and you'll have done another great service to the Resistance. Think you can do it, friend?
I can do it.
Remember, the Authority knows you're around, and they'll be looking for you. Take anything from that crate you think you'll need, and move fast, and good luck.
Alright. So, hearing that, like, it sounds like, eventually the Authority did, get back into that technology, because, of course, in Rage 2, if you're watching this on YouTube, once you get to Rage 2, you'll see there's the new kind of mutants that are, like, the really, like, creepy kind of, like, tall, pale ones with all the gear sticking out of their backs. So that's probably the like, upgraded nanotrite controlled mutants that Marshall's talking about there. But yeah, I guess this is the second, maybe even third trip to Dead City. I forget how many times you actually go there. But yeah, oh yeah, I remember the first time going, there was like those energy fields, or like the laser gate things, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna come back there because that's Authority technology. I remember that from old playthroughs. Man, like, even through this, like, slightly grainy recording from OBS, like, these canyons still look really cool. I mean, like, I guess, if you get up close, I mean, the textures do kind of show their age. But just, like, when you look at them, like, from a distance, they just look so nice. Like, and I guess it would have been John Carmack at the time, like, really in charge of, like, the graphics technology still I did. He did such a good job. I'm not entirely certain what he's doing these days. I know he worked on VR for a while, and then he worked at NASA? Something like that. I mean, he's probably doing something with technology still. But, whenever I think of John Carmack, like, just graphics for id Software is what always comes to mind, which is probably what a lot of people think of. Honestly, it's probably his biggest claim to fame. Yeah, the Dead City is full of authority people now, so I think this is where like the game like really starts to get difficult, because the authority are like, I mean, they're the big bads and they make them the toughest enemies. They have like really strong armor. They've got like machine guns and stuff. Like they are a far cry from like the mutants and basic bandits you start out fighting. See, what exactly am I looking for here? I mean, I guess, yeah, mind control bows would do something, but I can only craft one. I don't have the grenades to make. EMP grenades are really good against them, especially the ones with like shields and stuff. I guess I'm just gonna make up a bunch of bomb cars. What? I just read part of the description. It's the best idea a 12-year-old had. Hold up, we got Tiny Tina in the wasteland. Now, I heard authority chatter, but where do it be? Oh, I think I remember talking about this doorway. It was like on your first trip through the Dead City, that door is just closed, and like you go up to it, it has a little like warning icon meaning you can't open it. But then, of course, it's open this time. That's the thing that this game does a lot, where like you'll return to an old level, but they'll like change the configuration of the doors and stuff, so it has a different layout. And it is like a different level with like basically the same tile set. Maybe like a couple of the rooms are the same, but just the flow of the way you go through it, new rooms you can go to. It is like a new experience. I don't know if so. I only know about the development of this game up to like a certain point. I don't know if like they did that out of necessity, like they were under like a somewhat strict budget, or like they were kind of being rushed for time or something, or if that's just what they wanted to do to make it, like an open world game with like side quests and stuff. They were like, well, what if like this thing you need is also just at this place where you did this other thing, which kind of makes sense. And I don't really know what the answer to that would be. I think it's one of those things that I consider, part of the charm of Rage. It's just like, oh yeah, you'll return to an old level, but they'll mix it up a bit. I guess it's kind of a thing that, like, I don't know, I kind of associate that with Dreamcast games for some reason, just thinking about, like, Sonic Adventure. Throughout the different characters' campaigns, you'll, go to, the same level you went to as Sonic, but now as Tails, it's got, like, maybe a little bit of a different layout, different enemies you're playing, like, a very different character, so it's a different experience playing the level, it is, like, in the same level. And then things like Phantasy Star Online, at least like that initial pack, it had like the 4 worlds that just had like a few levels each, and basically you just play through those over and over again. And as you get up to the higher levels, they kind of remix the enemies in there. I don't know. I mean, honestly, that's probably not really like a thing unique to the Dreamcast, but that's just an association I built at some point that was kind of stuck in my brain. Though these fleshy textures don't really look that great. Looking at this, I feel like this specific room might be one of the hardest to just like navigate at a glance. I feel like there's a lot of visual noise, and it's not that clear like what the critical path is going to be. They were trying to blow up the information sign. How dare they? How are people going to know what's where in the mall now? I mean, I think I'd only killed like what, 2 or 3 people at that point. Was that the whole squad? I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Maybe they only had like 4 or 5 people here, so it could have been. But I always found it kind of weird that like dripping water in this game, you would see it kind of like drip down your screen, like as if you were like wearing like, I don't know, like goggles, and you let water hit them and you see it go down. But for some reason, like the dripping blood doesn't do that. I don't know. I think that would have been kind of cool. Why is it so bright out those hallways? Like it's just like all the fluorescents are cranked up. Is it supposed to be natural light coming in? It's kind of confusing to look at. And I guess, you know, that natural light coming in through that wall there is pretty intense, but I hear the chittering of mutants. Where are they at there? Is this like the back way up to where I fought Precious? Is that what she's called? The huge mutant that you first get the rocket launcher fighting? Because if I remember correctly, in the After the Impact comic, that there is a like a huge mutant that is Kvasir's pet, and I think he calls it Precious, but maybe Cupcake. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned that in the episode where I actually fought it. So that's probably nice and recorded because we already have the rocket launcher here, of course. Yeah. Oh, look, there's Precious's Cupcake, whatever she's called. There's the corpse of Kvasir's pet. Yeah, and it's making a lot of sense to me now that they also, I guess I hadn't really like had like a what's the word, like there wasn't a thought at the forefront of my mind about there not being crafting in Rage 2, but that also makes sense because, like, you know, you just have to sit there and you'd be like, okay, I craft this, I craft this, I craft a couple of these, you know, because like Rage 1, I feel like they really were trying to make like an open world, like not really a survival game, but kind of hitting on some of those notes, and there's a lot of just like scrounging around, scavenging for items and that kind of thing. And then Rage 2, you're like, nah, this is going to be a hyper, fast-paced, very little downtime experience, and I think they executed on that pretty well. I wish like NoClip would do documentaries about these games. They probably won't, just because they're not really that popular. But I would be so curious to know about like just the development of both of them, how they came to certain like decisions on how they were doing things in this game and how they were going to change them in Rage 2. You know, like why is it that like most of the levels in this game are reused at least once? You know, the arsenal that they chose feels pretty specific and intentional, I feel like, especially in Rage 2. And I'd be fascinated to know like the decision-making process they went through, and like what other guns or like for this one, what ammo types did they come up with? They were like, that's not working, we'll cut it. You know, like deleted scenes for a movie. What are the deleted weapons? Or deleted gadgets? Because I feel like, you know, there's a relatively slim list of gadgets in this game, right? There's like, I mean, grenades, EMP grenades, wing sticks, block grinders. There's the stationary turrets and the spider turrets. So that's like 6, which I mean, I guess, you know, it's a decent amount for, you know, if this was a bit more of a standard shooter, I guess, that just had like, you know, gadgets as a, you know, kind of a thing to it. But I guess, you know, it's like kind of an open world, you know, scavenging and crafting kind of focused game. It feels like a little small, maybe? No, but then again, it's not even really like that open world. it's almost less open world than I remember Diddy Kong Racing being. Because if I remember correctly, that game has like a wildly huge open world for like the single player, where like you go around and there's the doors and you do the races and stuff. And I feel like that world was gigantic, and you drive around it just like you drive around the world in Rage. So, maybe. Noticing like some of the symbols like spray painted on the walls here look like kind of occult. But yeah, as far as I know, there aren't really like occult type things in this game. Like I can't even think of like, because there's not like a bandit clan that's like really themed after occult stuff. I mean, I guess there's the Ghost Clan, but like they don't really do anything like mystical or really spooky. I guess if the mutants are kind of on the trajectory I see of like, so in Rage 2 they speak in more like full words, not maybe necessarily not full sentences, but they definitely like speak a little bit. So if they're kind of on that trajectory of getting smarter, there have to be at least like a few in the time of this game that are approaching an intelligence level where they can with some kind of power. Have like their symbology for that kind of thing, or be organize some kind of like level of civilization or cult or whatever behind like this is our symbol, this is what this means to us, this more so than just like they're mindless beings or whatever. I like how it looks like they don't even flinch. Like, you take their whole helmet off and they're just like, yeah, what of it? Just the biggest no-sellers in the whole industry. I was confused, like, how am I going to get up there from it? Because I was looking for stairs, and I didn't realize there was just, like, this dune you go up to get up the side of the ramp. I feel like I probably also had that thought when I was actually playing this before. Juice. The juice. It's kind of a neat art piece in the middle of this plaza. I don't know if it's the kind of thing I would, like, buy for my house, but... I mean, of course, it's too big to really put in a house, but like a smaller version of it, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think it's something I would, appreciate like at a place, but in my house, eh. So there's more of the mall here, it seems. Ooh, those textures looking chunky, like there's like Minecraft blocks in that shelf there. I'm gonna secure your perimeter. By that I mean I'm gonna kill you with my guns. That's a good one-liner, right? Just the king of one-liners over here. Oh yeah, I probably have the same feeling there that I had, back then, where I was like, I don't see them. Why do they keep like saying they see me and then going off me? And they were like obscured by the weird orange light coming off of that. Oh yeah, the EMP grenades like magnetize to the power source things, which I mean is useful, but it just looks kind of weird. He's just in a combat roll? Whoa. In armor like that? Really? I'll put... I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say it follows a very similar form to what I said before. Oh, and for president, a real papa for America. Does America need a papa? Not like it's like the papa in Stranger Things. Oh, that's a bike turned sideways. I always thought he was on a unicycle. That's interesting. And I really like all the like weird details they just put in place in this game. Like not really hidden, but it's just like, oh, we need something on this wall. Let's put a campaign poster for a Papa for America. I got surprised there by like, the screens turning on when I took the research laptop thing. I think, yeah, the store's just going to loop back around to there, so I could have gone through there faster. Okay. It took slightly longer than I expected for that to turn out, so I'm like, oh, is that not actually going to turn out that gate, even though the panels line up right to it? But no, it's fine. Oh, hey, there's that not really unicycle lane again. And there was the same octopus from the canyon at the start of the game that I probably pointed out at some point in an earlier episode.
Move on target. Moving up. 12 o'clock.
He just jumped right on down there like it wasn't no thing. These suits protect you from fall damage? I need to get me one of those. Just go skydiving with a parachute and be absolutely fine. I eventually hate it when you swing a gun at someone but they're crouching so it goes right over their head. That happens in real life combat so much you wouldn't believe it. Why am I shooting him like in the arms when that's not even a weak spot? Come on. I'm so trash at shooting good. Ooh, pinkies. Yeah, it makes the pinky sound from Doom 1. That's awesome. I've probably demonstrated that before in this playthrough, but I just realized, oh, that is a very ugly looking mop bucket. Like, what did they mop up like low res textures with that, and that's why it looks like that. It's just completely covered in low res goo. Low res goo is the new thing that Santa gives you if you've been a bad child. It's no more about coal. He's trying to move away from the coal industry. He's just putting just a bunch of low res goo in your stocking. And yes, it will just seep through the threads of the stocking. He doesn't care. So, they really are just making me go through the whole level backwards at this point, aren't they? Snipers. Sniper, no sniping. Am I gonna counter snipe? I think I'm gonna counter snipe. Oh, I'm gonna use the Chris crossbow. Maybe I was out of ammo for the sniper rifle. I was paying that much attention. Oh, I kind of looked like I hit him in the head, but he did not die. Oh, I keep forgetting they have helmets that, you know, block a ton of damage. There we go. Man, this is a crazy, like, clip-fed crossbow. It's pretty awesome, honestly. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Whoa, did you really? Okay, I was about to say, I thought I had killed him in one shot, and I'm like, that's unlikely. Yeah, you better fall back. 'Cause I'm the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest killadilla in the wasteland. And my name's Nicholas Rain. Hey, I actually remembered the main character's name. That's surprising. Ooh. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's what I was doing for a moment. I'm like, oh, did the game crash? I don't even know what's happening. Oh, yeah, the mind control bolts like make the guy walk so slow, and they have like this intense filter on the screen, so you can barely tell where anything is. Like, it's a really cool ability and concept, but I think the execution of it just made it so difficult to actually get use out of. Whoa, is that the Dragon Ball? The one with the 1 star? Do the Dragon Balls have any sort of like different properties based on the number of stars they have? Or is that like pretty irrelevant? Oh, there's a guy right there. Wow. So all I know about like the Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball is if you get all of them, you can make a wish to Omega Shenron, and I guess he'll do whatever. Like, I think he like brings people back to life. I don't know that much about Dragon Ball lore, honestly, but that's about the extent of my knowledge, really. I cannot crawl through there. What do you take me for? A man who can get down on his hands and knees and crawl through something? There we go. Oh, no. Oh, okay. So it's a tight squeeze, but we can get the car through there. Okay, I remember there's like 2 dudes up there. I think I died to them, actually. You know, sorry for spoilers of me watching this back. Like, oh Jesus, is it months since I first recorded this? I don't even know. But I have kind of a memory of what happens. Oh, abuse that physics engine. No, no. You're losing ground. This high octane driving is too much for me. They should have a sequence like this in the next Fast and Furious movie. Oh, well, it's almost there. Yeah, we did it. Other than, of course, the ground is so slanted there, the gravity is just keeping me from getting out of that corner. I remember that being really fun to just figure out how to get the car over the slope like that. Honestly, like, if we ever get like Rage Wars or whatever, I can't remember where I was talking about. I was talking about if I was in charge of the Rage franchise, I would kind of put it in 2 directions. One would be more along the lines of like what Rage 2 is doing, of being, you know, just very fast-paced, high-octane, just adrenaline, and then have a separate series that goes heavier into the more like immersive sim, like scavenging, crafting, environmental interactions, that kind of stuff. I was thinking that could be set, you know, between Rage 1 and 2. That'd be kind of like the wars against the Authority. And so, like, if I was making that game, I would try to, you know, do like a lot more like just physics interactions, like how do you get your car to move, you know, what all does the electricity from the crossbow affect, those kind of things. Yeah, just really hit hard, like the immersive sim factor of like, if it logically makes sense to you, you can probably do it in the game, which of course, you know, is difficult to really make happen. But hello, my guy. This encounter did not go well for you, did it? I guess I was wrong about dying near where the car exploded, wasn't I? Oh, maybe. Because, well, I had to go through a little tunnel with it to get there. Ooh, dropship. Those weird looking, like, Y-shaped dropships. They don't make the cool vroom noise of the ones in the second game. Those things are so sick. You just hear them fly and you just like that's an authority dropship that just like basically teleported here. Man, those shields can really take a beating. I'm surprised how comfortable I got using the rocket launcher here. Like historically playing shooters, I shy away from explosive weapons because I'm just so bad at aiming, and I'll get into like tight corridors and try to shoot something and just blow myself up. But I mean, the rocket launcher is really putting in work for me here. Yeah, here too, it's also, I feel like it's a little confusing to figure out which way to go. I guess, you kind of have to do a little bit of micro exploration to figure out, like, what actually is a way forward. What, are you playing chess down there? And you just, like, got in a position to almost beat your opponent? Oh, we're back around to the entrance? I guess we'd have to be. We picked up the intelligence about halfway through the level or so. But how did these cars pile up like this? I want to know. Like, was this a traffic accident? Did someone move these cars? That would be a pretty wild traffic accident, I feel like. This guy looking like some kind of like Halo creator character. I don't recall noticing that enemy being like so like bright and shiny like that. That was interesting. I think there I'm talking about how the way that they like get off the end of the level is that, it's just like a wall going up on the inside close to the entrance to the level, but when you get around to the backside there's a ramp so that you can get up and then fall off and you can't go back. I mean, I guess, whatever works to keep your level flowing logically, and also to like leave the player in a useful spot when they finish it. Whatever works. Alright. Time to take this laptop to Tom from Toonami. I'm pretty sure that's Steve Bloom playing the voice of Captain Marshall. Just like how he had John Goodman as Dan Hagar at the beginning. This game has some interesting sound effects for its like, like, oh, you didn't do the mission, or like, here's your new mission. A lot of those sounds are really interesting to me. Like when you get the new mission, there's like, I'm not like, what kind of sound? It's like almost like a like you hear like a pipe being whacked down the tunnel, but not in a spooky way. If that makes sense. That's kind of what that sounds like to me. What am I looking at here? Is it the clouds and like the god rays coming through? Is that just a big old JPEG? Am I looking for a sewer? Am I continuing the quest for the sewer levels here? Oh, am I about to? No, it's over to the left. It's right there. You almost got it. Ah, there you go. This is where I learned that there actually is more than one sewer level. I'm pretty sure, because back in the day when I got the game and it was like, ooh, voucher for the sewer levels. I only remember the one over by like the racetrack outside of the, I guess not racetrack, but like the time trial track out by the Hagar settlement. I don't think I found any other ones. But I remember looking it up, and there's a lot of sewer levels. I want to say there's like 9 in this initial wasteland, and then like 3 or 4 in the second wasteland, something along those lines. It was like more than I honestly ever cared to seek out, but I'm just like surprised. Like there are that many. I only ever found one in my playthroughs before, I think. And what are mutants doing in a chair? I don't think they like sit like people. The sewer levels are so weird to me because like they're kind of presented as a DLC pack, and like, you know, like I said, like I got the Anarchy edition of Rage, and it came with a code to download the sewer levels, and then it's just like these like kind of short basic dungeons where you just fight some mutants and get some supplies, and there's not really like that much to them. I mean, I guess they're there if you like really need to get more supplies. There's like they are a, you know, place to get those, especially if you're low on cash and can't just buy them from the store. But why was it like separate? Why wasn't it part of the base game? That's something else that should be covered in the NoClip documentary. But then of course, if you buy this on PC nowadays, like that's just included. So I don't know, was it originally Anarchy Edition perk, and then people were like, oh, that's not really that exciting. They're like, okay, we'll include it with the base game, or like if it was like always intended to be available to everyone. And so they, but Anarchy Edition gave you early access, or maybe the PC version came out later. And so, like, console versions, you had to get, like, special access to the sewer missions. With PC, they were like, oh, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to really get that promotion, so we're just going to include it. I don't know. Yeah, the sewer missions are honestly kind of nothing content. Like, I guess for kind of a contemporary comparison, a lot of people are kind of upset about the DLC for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, that, you know, you can also call them just like a dungeon. But the thing about them is, I think, that they present, you know, somewhat unique experiences versus the main game, where there's like, okay, am I looking for what words am I looking for here? Like, they function kind of like, you know, raids in an MMO, I feel like, where there's like specific tasks you need to get done, you need to take down the boss at the end, and there's like you know, specific patterns you need to learn, all this kind of stuff. And I assume as you play up in the higher levels of that, it gets difficult, and you really need to coordinate with your team to get through the different segments of it. And you know, they also, you know, introduce like unique loot. And I think there are some unique enemies. I could be wrong about that, but you know, they provide, you know, something new really to the experience. Whereas in Rage, these levels are like just more of the basics of the rest of the game. And so it's just kind of like, eh. At least, like, to my knowledge, this wasn't sold as like a DLC pack. Like, actually, it was either a pre-order bonus or just later included in the game. Yeah, I remember, like, back in the day, like so this game came out probably when I was really starting to become like cognizant of my taste in games and like kind of figuring out like, okay, what do I really like in them? And I think something that I initially latched on to with this, and maybe some other games I was playing at the time, was a shooter where a lot of enemies are melee, so you don't actually have to worry about fighting them at range. So like, they'll just run up to you and you just shotgun blast them, and that's it. Now, as I've like gotten older and like played more games and kind of, you know, refined my ideas on games, I'm not necessarily just into, you know, like, oh, shoot the melee guys as they run up. You know, like ranged enemies, you know, they have like their uses and their, like, you know, specific pressures they put on the player, and it's almost kind of like Like whereas like the tools that you have as a player and what weapons you get is in some ways kind of a parallel to the tools the enemies get as far as like what the enemy types are and their abilities and those kinds of things. I might just go on a quest to find more sewers here. That might be what I'm doing, since I just learned, like, hey, there's other sewers. Did I just try to do a stunt? No, I probably just accidentally hit that, but... and I guess I'm figuring there has to be a sewer by Mutant Bash TV, because... I mean, if the number of people that come through there, then we gotta have a bathroom, right? But it doesn't really seem like it. And here's like an authority controlled gate. I think I go through there. No, I don't think you ever go through there in the game. What am I trying to do here? Am I trying to find secrets, or I'm so confused about my thought process in the game at this moment. Alright, past Jarrett, the sewer levels aren't really that interesting, and they're honestly more hard to find than they're worth. So please just continue with the main story. Wow, this is the most exciting combat I've ever seen. That's where I'm realizing that the enemy cars in the wasteland can drop boost charges, which I don't think I ever knew before. I only knew of them being in the the races with the actual where you like teleport onto a track and actually do a race. Man, these enemies, these like cars really pack a punch with their rocket launchers or whatever. I feel like I die here, honestly. I might be thinking that a lot. I already misidentified it once, I think. But yeah, let's get out of here. Let's pay Nick to repair the car, I guess. Oh, no. We're still looking for sewers. That's just where a Stanley Express thing is. It's not interesting. Parkour? So we're just getting a whole retouring of the whole wasteland, just seeing what's out there in search of these sewers. I guess I'm just kind of role playing as a plumber for hire, just trying to find. I guess do plumbers work on sewers? I guess not. I guess whatever the sewage treatment staff is just going to see like, oh, what sewers are around that might be really icky, need some cleaning. No sewer in the big pipe. Okay. Yeah, I put in so much effort to try to find levels that just aren't worth it. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm thinking, since I'm about to transition over to the other part of the wasteland, do I want to try to really run the gamut of content out here? Which the answer is no. I'm still going for it. I do like that if the car falls over and lands on its head, I guess not head, but like if the top of the car is on the ground, it will just take a moment and just flip itself over. Honestly, why can't the enemy cars drop like repair unit things. So that'd be pretty useful. And I'm back over here now. And I'm definitely gonna die because of these stupid rocket launchers. Yep. Yep, there it goes. And you can't defib when you die in a car because I guess it explodes and just destroys you? Kinda looks like I'm sort of upset there. Oh yeah, because I'm like, where was the last place I saved? Did I just lose a bunch of progress? And I think I'm realizing now, it was just after I finished that sewer mission, so I didn't lose much progress at all. And I really wish I knew exactly what like where my head was at certain points in this. Like, I guess I'm trying to see, like, can I manually call to get my car repaired? Maybe I can. Bro, it's not worth it. Stop looking for sewers. Maybe I'm just trying to delay going to the other part of the wasteland because honestly I feel like on the whole the content does become harder there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably like still getting lost around here because I don't know, for some reason this like initial wasteland section, like I just cannot figure out which way to go if I'm not being guided to the objective. Hey, there's that octopus thing I mentioned. Six stunts. Please tell me I'm giving up on these sewers soon. I don't want to keep talking about looking for sewers. Ooh, all the way back at the Outrigger settlement. You usually don't see this past like the first, half hour of the game or whatever. Oh, hey, we found another sewer. Sewer to Plunkett. It's a sewer and there's mutants in it. I don't know, maybe at this point I'm still just trying to figure out like what the sewer levels are. And at this point I'm kind of saying like, okay, it's just more of the same with mutants. That guy was rolling like Sonic. Okay, so there's a little bit of choice of which way to go in this one. It's not exactly just a linear tunnel. Oh, that's the way out. Never mind. It is linear. It's just they put the exit in the middle of the map. Just how like samey these sewers feel, and like I think I was either pointing out it earlier or I'll point out here soon that like there's one room that looks like identical between two of these sewers, and it almost feels like they were like randomly generated or something. Like, I don't know, it strikes me as unlikely that the game like actually randomly generates the sewers. Like, yeah, like this room with like the end of the room where the stairs go up and just stops at a wall. Like that was distinctly in the last sewer we were in. I don't know. Well, I kind of doubt that the game actually like randomly generates the sewers as you come in. But I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he's going on a ride. You okay, buddy? Oh, you good? Oh, bye. That was weird. But I almost wouldn't be surprised if, like, during development, they just use some kind of algorithm, or like we're just like, I don't know, just slap these levels together, because they're very basic and very samey, and honestly just seem like they're there to like just fill out stuff you can do in the world, or just be a source of items. Like there's not much at all going on with these sewers. It's like the most uninteresting variation of Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne. And if this game actually had like randomized levels you go through, I guess maybe it'd be more fun in Rage 2, but like that could be neat. Like just like randomized, basically like dungeons, run through just killing things. I mean, I guess, something I talked about on the last episode of Rage 2, so, I hope you figure out what is being recorded in the timeline, was that, the fun of moment-to-moment gameplay kind of informs the longevity of, the fun with a game based on the structure of its content. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. But like, for instance, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands has the Chaos Dungeons, where you just, run through strings of short levels over and over just fighting enemies. And that works because the combat in that game is very fun. But if it played like, I don't know, like I feel like if it just played like your most basic Call of Duty, like that would get old very fast. Like I feel like, Call of Duty, at least like the ones I played, honestly I haven't played that much Call of Duty, but the ones I have played, they're just kind of serviceable in their shooting, I feel like. And so it's really and I guess that almost like Rage 1 almost feels very similar, to where it's not exactly the moment-to-moment impact of gameplay itself in most instances that keeps the game interesting. It's the overall, like, what are you doing? What are the levels? What are the scenarios? So I guess that is kind of like two schools of thought. I don't even know if that's the right way to put it. Two different like branches of game design you can really think about are like, am I making very fun mechanics that will just work, with whatever scenario I drop them into, or am I making a game that's more focused on what its scenarios are and the player's engagement will be with that?
You have made one great find. It shows us all about the authorities' deadly plans. Trust me, this is a major blow to them, and a great day for our cause. Elizabeth had a good feeling about you. I may have to agree with her. But now it's time to say your goodbyes. Elizabeth has gone on ahead to make preparations for our arrival. Don't worry about the stuff in your garage. It'll be waiting for you. But we need to leave soon ourselves. The price on your head will only increase if you stay here. This place just isn't safe for you. We've deployed a communications scrambler which should help mask our exit. So if you're with us, then come back here when you wrap up any loose ends, and we'll leave together.
Alright, time to get out of town. But not by interacting with the door. You've got to talk to Captain Marshall.
So, you ready to leave?
Let's go.
Excellent.
I
Let's
said
go.
that. So we're going over to the Eastern Wasteland now. I believe where we were before was called the Northern Wasteland. It's a lot drearier here. And we have an airship, which we don't actually get to do much on. And why aren't there airships in the second game?
I'm glad you decided to join us. You were probably just days away from the authority finding you. But you've heard the expression, out of the frying pan? Well, welcome to the fire.
Big Feltrite crystals. Yeah, this is really cool.
Fighting the authority is all I know. I've been doing it ever since my arc emerged. I saw what they were doing. Nothing like this was supposed to happen after the asteroid hit. For once, our government had a good plan and good people in place to make it happen. But General Cross changed the timing of only a few arcs. Arcs filled with his people. And that changed the course of humankind. Now, it's our job to make sure it isn't forever.
And as we know in Rage 2, that is not accomplished for a while. General Cross is still very much around in that one, which I think takes place a few years later.
There's Crescent City, or what's left of it. Our base sits right below it.
But I really like that whole sequence of just flying through, seeing the new wasteland. I think it's a really cool shot.
All right, come this way.
I guess it's kind of like mirroring
Our base is just through that door.
the Drive with John Goodman at the beginning of the game, where that one's like, you know, you're just in a car going through a small part of the canyon. You're like, oh, okay. And then here, like, you are in an airship flying through an even bigger and deadlier canyon. It's like, okay, I can kind of feel like how the stakes have grown.
Lassard, Marshall here. Security code 1228.
Roger, Captain. Welcome back. I see you have our guest.
This way.
Oh, he's got a robot leg.
Welcome to our little home. It's a bit of a mess, but we like it.
Is that an arc back there?
All right, people. A little introduction of our new guest. You know he's an ARC survivor. He's also pretty tough. Gets the job done. I know he'll fit in well. In short, trust him. You see that ARC all in pieces over there? It was the one I was buried in. But now Lassard uses it as the brains of our operation.
Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Captain Marshall was buried in that thing, but I've re-rigged the systems, and now I can track most Authority movements and communicate with our people around the wasteland.
Precisely. Elizabeth, you know.
Good to see you again. And still in one piece.
Actually, it's Dr. Cadence. And she's been getting closer to solving the riddle of the Authority's work with the mutants.
Every little step brings me closer to the truth.
And Jack Borkman, over there, he handles ordnance. If it shoots or explodes, he can help you with it.
That's right, friend. It's like my birthday every day around here. Especially when my work helps take out some of the Authority bastards.
Lastly, above us, keeping the lid tightly closed on our base of operations, is Saul. He runs the garage in town. He's already got your stuff in a bay. You'll meet him when you go up. Okay, couple things you need to know. Subway town above us? Oh, it isn't Wellspring. They walk a fine line, keeping the Authority at bay and also dealing with us. You'll have to be careful there. And the town's boss, Redstone. Be extra careful around him. He'd sell you out to the Authority in a heartbeat unless you're of use to him. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get on Redstone's good side. See if he needs anything. Be of use to him. Otherwise, you're as good as dead. And then you're useless to us. Think you'll be able to play his game?
Yeah. It's kind of what I've been doing most of the time, I feel like, really.
Good. Remember, get a feel for how things work around here. Be useful to them. Then we can start moving on to the serious stuff. Okay, it's clear for you to go up.
So I wonder if this operation is kind of what became the Rangers in the second game. I mean, none of it explicitly comes up in, like, none of those characters return, if I remember correctly. Wait, or unless... Oh, I can't remember. No, Marshall is the leader of Gun Barrel, so he comes back. But as far as I know, the other ones don't. But there is the arc, like, at the heart of Vineland, where you get, like, your initial stuff.
So, you're the new team member. Well, welcome to Subway Town. I'm Saul. I run the garage here, but more importantly, I'd drop that car lift if the Authority starts snooping around. But first, a couple of things you need to know. Your garage bay is through that door. I'll do all your repairs here and tow you back if you ever get yourself in trouble. You can find the race manager downstairs and the bar's on this level. And more importantly for you, Redstone's office is upstairs. Remember, nothing and no one moves around here without his okay. So, don't waste any time.
All right, I
Go
will
and
do.
see him.
Go and see the man named after an energy source from Minecraft. Got it.
You new in
yeah.
town?
Why do you care? Do you want to be my friend? And that's just an exit out to the wasteland, yeah. Kind of neat that they, you know, give you doors to just walk out to the wasteland.
Hey, stranger. You
You
looking
got a
to earn a
job
little
for
on
me?
the side? Brick Johnson, the guy that runs the bar. He's been having trouble with bandits stealing his liquor. He needs someone to take care of this problem.
Why did you
should
say
go see him.
problem like it was a code word? That just like is a problem? Hello?
Look around. All of this is Redstone's town. It's the meanest damn mayor in the wasteland. Watch yourself, or you won't last long here.
Honestly, I feel like he's not as bad as Clegg.
If you haven't seen Redstone yet, go there now. Don't waste any more time. Redstone doesn't like strangers walking around his town without permission. See him in his office upstairs.
Hi, Gabe. How you doing?
Hey, pal. Don't waste the boss's time.
Does Vincent look
Go
exactly
see him.
like Clint? Yeah, so there's not really like that much going on around Subway Town. There are a couple of Easter eggs, which I think I'm kind of looking for at the moment.
I've got an incredible deal for you. Hello, name's Stu. I often have a surplus of one thing or another, and I'm willing to sell for a fair price. Care to see what I've
I
got?
feel like I've like never been interested in Stu's deals.
See me often. You'll never know what I'll be selling.
There's a lock grinder door in town. It's kind of interesting. Why was the bathroom so closed up? What happened in here? Why is there a flower in the sink? And there's a mattress in the stall? Who was sleeping here? This is interesting.
Welcome to
Thanks.
Subway Town. Yeah, we got our own vibe here. Yeah, we got our own vibe here. Being so close to Capital Prime keeps everyone on edge, but we try to relax when we can.
Yes, this is a mini game that it's basically like a stripped down like DDR kind of thing, if I remember correctly. It's not very interesting. I think I played a little bit here. You gotta bet money on it? That's weird. Oh no, it's like Simon Says. Is that a microphone up in the like the top of his banjo? Kind of what it looks like. No accounting for rhythm, you just gotta do the right sequence. These are kind of complicated sequences. Yeah. I've never been good at like keeping up with sequences like that, so that was never gonna be the mini game for me. So I think I'm still hunting for a very specific Easter egg that I know is around here. I want to say it's like back in that corner that I'm kind of looking toward right now. Oh, this is so weird seeing myself go off on a tangent and I just don't know what it's about. We're not allowed in the bar yet. I remember that.
No drinking for anyone unless Redstone says you're okay. Now move along.
Okay then, fine. Okay, here's the Easter egg I've been looking for.
Haven't seen you before.
I haven't been here before. But you see what she's smoking there? She's smoking the I think it's the Cyber Demon from the original Doom. I don't know what kind of high that gives you, but she must be into it.
Life's never been easy down here. We work hard every day, but between Redstone and the Authority, we barely make enough to survive. Something's gotta change. The people need a reason for
Oh,
hope.
the girl upstairs? Okay. Someone's talking about buying a season pass for the races. There's the exact same dice game that they have in Wellspring. Like even down to having Sheriff Black in it for some reason. Oh, someone in here doesn't like Owen.
The races we run out of this circuit, well, they aren't for the faint of heart. A lot tougher than what you may be used to. That's for sure.
I mean, racing in this isn't really difficult, I'd say.
You feeling the need for speed?
I like her vibe. She's got like this like interesting like green palette going on and like kind of a like the goggles and the whatever's coming up out of the back make her look like some kind of creature. Like is she like some kind of frog or something? Or like that one character from My Hero Academia who's like a frog lady. But anyway, I think I've seen pretty much everything at this point, so maybe I'll talk to Sparky, but
Haven't seen you
yeah, I just rolled into town. But I think it's time to go and finally talk to Redstone. There's Owen again, but not crossed out this time. Protect your skin? You mean like moisturize, or don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, we're time to go get a mission from Redstone, or maybe not. Where am I going now? Alright, we're taking the long way, I suppose. The very, very long way. Here we go.
Hold it right there. You Marshall's new guy.
Was that also Steve Bloom? He's got a very interesting style going on.
Okay, you're new. That means that you don't exactly know how things work around here. So let me make it clear to you. This is my place, my town, and every bastard here answers to me. What I want, they do. So if you can help me do things, then we'll be fine. If not, then I have no use for you. Got that? So Marshall says you're the type that can get things done. Let's give you a little test, huh? My foreman is having mutant problems at the end of the Blue Line tunnel. The things keep crawling back in. So go help him out. Think you can handle this? Good. Just prove yourself useful to me, and then I'll let you stay. Now, show me what you can do.
So that's not Steve Bloom, that's Grandpa from Ben 10, I'm pretty sure. But also, look who's here on the desk. I believe I mentioned this in earlier parts. It's Blake Griffin who had an ad campaign about getting into the game for some reason, and he did it. Blake Griffin's in the game for some reason. That's a weird little Easter egg. I don't know if like Blake's a big fan of id games or if id employees are a big fan of Blake. I have no idea how that came around. Another good point for the No Clip documentary. Why is Blake in the game? I guess now we can go into the bar.
Think you can help an old man
Maybe,
like
maybe
myself?
not.
My muscle and joints getting old, making it harder and harder for me to walk around these days. But I heard about a plant called Comet Bloom. Heard if I chew it, it'll make the pain go away. Problem is, I ain't got no way of getting it. You think you'll be able to help an
Sure,
old
I can
man
find
like
you a
myself?
coke plant. I already have it.
Good, good. This will surely make the pain go away. And here, good fella, something that I think you'll be able to use.
Yeah, so it just auto completes the quest because I already had the item. That's kind of sick. Hi, Krug. Kind of an ugly man there. Boar's Light, Riptide Light, Al's Ale, AA, like AA meetings. I don't know why I'm admiring the floor of a subway car.
Hey, you. Word around town is that Marshall's back with the new Trigger Man. Some say an Ark survivor, and some say that's you. Well, I guess we'll just have to see.
Okay, Rourke. There's a lady who wanted to play the card game, and she's very serious about it. She's got like Black Widow like designs all around her.
So you Redstone's new tough guy? Care to make a little extra
Sure.
on the side?
Yes, she's actually wearing a fez.
Damn bandits causing trouble with my liquor suppliers. Making it difficult to get the good stuff down here. I would pay handsomely if you took to the roads
it's
and
just
kill
like
a few of
Sally's,
those
okay.
bandits. You take out an authority predator, and that'll count as two. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Well, alrighty then. Go kick some ass.
There's a guy trying not to stab his fingers.
Jones has his people working, but no other crews.
Well, with the mutant problem he's got, there ain't anything else he can do.
Yeah, but it still sucks.
So there's another Doom Easter egg. He's like reading the weird comic book. but there in the video, I'm like looking to see if those pages from the Rage comic, but no, it's the Doom comic, where it's just Doom guy running around fighting monsters and like monologuing about what kind of world we're gonna leave our children. It's bizarre. I like how this guy with the mohawk is kind of looking at me, but the other guy is just looking off in the corner like he just doesn't want to make eye contact at all. He's also smoking a cigarette and has another on his ear. I guess he's just raring to go. And I'm just really looking intently at that comic. You're not going to find it in there, man. That's the wrong comic. I guess at least it's not a very long comic, so I can just kind of flip through the whole thing. Very low quality texture on that beer there. Maybe it's supposed to give you the effect of, you know, what it feels like when you're down like 3 or 4 beers and everything looks like that. I think this is the point where I'm like, okay, it must be the Doom comic and yada yada yada.
Damn mutants got all new construction around here shut down. Redstone's got to do something about it.
Until someone takes care of Jones's mutants, all we can do is drink.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair. Anyway, I guess we're gonna go tackle the blue line problem now, probably. Am I still trying to look for Easter eggs, or? Come on, you can do it. Just go do the quest, man. Why is past me going through this so slowly? Okay, there we go. The blue line. So the same posters from before. And I'm upset about the stairs, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Hudson. Are you talking about me or the foreman? Or I guess probably the foreman? You don't have to yell at me now. Jackhammer's not that loud.
The boss called down.
That's me.
Said to expect someone.
Yep.
You must be him. I got a big problem. Damn muties ripping through my work down here. They got this expansion operation just about shut down. My guess is they clawed their way into the Blue Line station. And now, they're busting out all over down here. Someone's gotta stop them. So, it looks like you're the guy for the job. I'm glad you understand. You can get into their cave up on the surface by the canyon wall. Head as deep as you can go, and look for the Blue Line station.
And this is where I get confused, because I think like, oh, this is the Blue Line station, this is where I'll go to, or this is like the Blue Line tunnel, this is where I'll go to get to the station. I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, do I go through the subway car?
Listen, work can't go on with these muties busting through all the time. Get to their cave and see if you can stop this
under
problem.
the beam and go between the turrets? Do I go down? Yeah, this almost looks like I can go, but no. Do I go down that tunnel on the right? No. Do I like slink by the side of the car there? But no, the secret is you can't actually get there through this tunnel. You've got to leave town. It's honestly really unintuitive. Yeah, like since there's no like actual like quest markers while you're in town, it doesn't really give you any indication, and like I don't know who would really think, oh, to get into this place I need to leave like the obvious entrance to it, and it's going to be outside. Yeah, so I think honestly, like, I just keep trying to look for it for a bit here, and I just kind of give up and be like, okay, I'm going outside. Hopefully I'll find it. I don't know. Okay, I know. I read the quest description here is under the bridge to Subway Town. It's like, okay, that has to be outside. But honestly, like, why couldn't they have made the entrance there? I feel like, you know, that would have been pretty easy to set up, honestly. I guess I better go and get a vehicle. Although, as I'm going to learn soon, like, it's really not far away, and I could easily just walk there with little risk. Literally just come out here and just kind of take a right and go right under the bridge. sandbags there, so you can't even drive that far. So if I had known it was there, I would have just come out on foot. I wonder if there's anything of a speedrunning scene for this game. I feel like that could be interesting, maybe? I wonder if there's any like really wacky glitches you can exploit. I'll have to look that up at some point. Maybe I'll become the world premiere Rage stream runner. Probably not. I don't think I have the patience or the skills to really do much with speedrunning. I think it's really fascinating though. I love watching videos of people actually speedrun and like explaining the tech and stuff. I think that's really cool. But I just don't have the skill for it myself. I apologize if anything I'm talking about here retreads a lot of like the last couple episodes of Rage, what I was talking about. But like I said earlier, it's probably been like months since I recorded those, so I don't really remember what I was talking about. But hopefully this will be relatively fresh, and it's probably just a bit awkward because it's me commentating over myself from the past, but I'm sure it'll all flow fine. But it's only a few episodes here, and then we get back to episodes where I've been checking the audio. It's been recording the whole time. So I think I'll probably just need to do this with a couple more episodes and we'll be back on track. And hopefully the stream archive on YouTube will be pretty full before too long. Well, not full, but like have a fair number of episodes of complete series of Rage and pretty caught up on Rage 2. So it's pretty exciting, I think. Well, you got a goodbye. Straight down the hole. So I heard and saw a bunch of mutants, but then they all just kind of left. I guess they don't really want to fight, they just want to make me creeped out. I want to get that stuff. How do I get that stuff? Maybe there's a way to open this gate. Oh, there's this electric box here. Maybe if I hit it with electricity. Yeah. Pulse shot. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of in that sort of immersive simmy kind of way. It's like, oh, I have this attack that does like electric damage. What if I hit an electric device with it? It makes the device, function or break. Hey, there's some bandages on the ground. They're probably not all that sanitary. Wow, that guy just had no idea I was there, did he? Wanted right up in his face and he didn't care. That's a lot of ammo. That guy looks just like Clint. Uh-oh. These jerks. They were coordinated enough to close the door behind me. They are getting smarter. Oops. I didn't know I had a mind control boat equipped, and I think I hurt myself a lot exploding that guy right on top of me. Now, this is a very small arena to be fighting in, and I don't think I can jump high enough to get over the wall now. Oh, my face is covered in jelly. What is it, jam? Yeah, I feel like people have explained it to me so many times, but I can never remember what the actual difference between jam and jam is. I think there is one, maybe? I got a weapon there and I can stop sign or something. I guess I could pretty much be an axe on the stop sign is like a piece of metal that like, I mean I guess technically isn't that sharp, but if it swung with enough force it'd probably cut through someone. At least bludgeon them real bad. I wonder if, like, I mean, I don't know if, like, this was really, like, on a storyline sense through that hard, but I wonder if there was, like, one, like, relatively pretty smart mutant that was, like, coordinating this whole attack. Because this just seems kind of out of line for, like, you know, the intelligence level most mutants seem to show. That's what I want to see if we get a Rage 3. I want to see, like, intelligent mutants, at least to the point of, like, them having like grander battle strategy, and maybe there's like a lieutenant mutant that's like giving commands to the others and making them stronger. Stronger in the way of like giving them like actual like strategy in their combat. And if you take down the general, the other ones just kind of like default to their base instincts for combat. So they might like strike more savagely, but like in a less coordinated fashion. I think that could maybe be kind of neat. You know, I think that would, you know, kind of play into giving a sense of like prioritization of targets that could work within, you know, faster paced. You've got to like in your split second take a moment to think like, okay, do I want to worry about like this like brute mutant that's going to do a ton of damage to me? Do I want to worry about the lieutenant that's like, you know, like just basically in a way buffing all the mutants? But you've got to make snappy decisions or else you are going to get killed. I think that could be fun. Again, id Software, if you're listening, come on. I can run the Rage franchise. I love the franchise. I have a lot of ideas. Just give me the keys to the car, and I'll bring it back shinier than ever. Even though their ambush went south, all the mutants want to come out and play. Still got to find the detonator. Not quite done with the quest in here yet. I like the way he's running. It looks like he's having a good time. I love the way that you make a mutant just backflip when you kill it as he's running towards you. That's really cool. I feel like there's a lot of weird little things in this game where I'm just like, that's cool. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I adore this game. I've played it multiple times. I've just absorbed a bunch of little details. No, this is not where you can unlock the Doom Room quite yet, past Jarrett. That comes up later in the game, I believe. I think so. And that's maybe in the next episode. Yeah, these mutants really love their floor holes, huh? It's a fiery lacrosseman throwing his lacrosse balls at me. That's another one. They just really want to play their deadly ball game, huh? Looks like I'm a pretty short work of them. Like, they're literally just holding lacrosse scoops, aren't they, to throw those at me? I like being able to use one enemy's grenades as a means to kill another enemy. It always makes me feel like efficient. Which is obviously one of the most important things on is it Maslow's hierarchy of needs? The need to feel efficient. Absolutely. A book about J.K. Styles. Really? Did he write it himself? Or did he used to actually be kind of cool back in the day? Was he like the original Mutant Bash TV contestant? The deep lore revealed? That was painful to watch me just not aim at that guy and let him jump at me. Ooh. Now I know how you guys feel. Who's paying the water bill to keep water coming into this abandoned subway? Here's the room where it makes it look like Grand Central Station. At least that's what I think of when I see, you know, the big clock in the middle. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be Grand Central, but like, I feel like that is just what, you know, that iconic image evokes, you know? Oh, something's rumbling. Is there another giant mutant, like Precious or Cupcake or whatever? It's like someone trying to level this place for a minute. Like explosives. Ooh, I was almost like blinded by that one for a moment. I guess that's why that effect like come back in the second game, because you know, with like the speed that you really have to work with and like how deadly some of those encounters are, like you do not want to be blinded, regardless of how cool of an effect it actually is. Oh, it's one of those guys. The big dudes with the big gun. What do you call them, Abaddon? Or is that a clan? I don't know. All I know is that he's a big tough guy. You want to shoot explosives at me? Well, I'll shoot explosives at you. How you like it? Actually, I think it's more about even back to Bob Rockets. Alright, sweet. Handled that encounter pretty well. He passed me, was going to have to fight those mutants in the moment, but they just kind of ran through. There's a lot of interesting things mutants are doing in this level. This is where I'm thinking, like, okay, there's like a decent bit left of this level, and I've been streaming for about 2 hours, so I'm signing off in the video there. And I mean, I'm gonna sign off in the current timeline as well. You know, this was interesting, commentating over my past self. But I mean, as always, I mean, it was fun to just to stream, fun to relive a little bit of the original Rage while I'm in the middle of two. But anyway, I have been Peanut Buffer. This has been fun. Screen went black because the video ended. But yeah, I hope you all have a nice afternoon, or if you're watching this on YouTube, nice evening, night, early morning, whenever you're watching this. Just I hope you're doing well, having a good day. Staying hydrated, brushing your teeth, all that kind of thing. But anyway, this is Peanut Buffer signing off. See you later.